Good afternoon. Welcome back, Kansas City. I am DeQuay Wilson, your announcer on the Wave Your Grades Motivational Talk program, featuring American students dedicating academic excellence to American veterans and our veterans, thanking our students for being serious about their education. Your Wave Your Grades program is brought to you by the Norman Group. For more information on becoming a partner or learning to bridge the five wealth gaps, please contact Willie Norman. You may reach him by phone at 816-525-8708, or you may reach him by email at wnorman, the number 2, at att.net. Now, with today's very special guest, here is our Wave Your Grades host, civilian Mid-America Hall of Fame educator, Carl Boyd.
You, thank you. DeQuay Wilson, she is indeed our producer, our announcer, co host, and engineer. And we are back after an absence of a few Saturdays, as a matter of fact. And we continue to pray for all who are impacted by COVID 19, praying that you are observing all of the protocols that science suggests that we observe. And we certainly pray for the loved ones of those who have succumbed to COVID 19 or for whatever reason they might have succumbed. And we continue to pray for the loved ones, friends, and all who are impacted. We indeed continue to recommend that all follow the science. And that's what we do here at KUAW.org, this station. KUAW stands for Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. And we are blessed to have in the house the founder of KUAW.org, president of Black Family Technology Awareness Association. His name is Louis George Walker. And through his foresight, his wisdom, and ongoing efforts to make sure that we can come to you, we are here at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. We have a very special program this afternoon. And when I say very special, I mean very special because it is certainly topical as it relates to what is going on with community police relations. So it is definitely topical. It is also extremely important that all of those who are involved understand the implications of that involvement. Gentlemen, Gerald Caldwell, indeed, former commander, VFW Post 8100 in Grandview, Missouri. Larry Bonner, Bonner. Your position with VFW 8100 is?
Commander at present.
Current commander of VFW 8100 Grandview, Missouri. And gentlemen, allow me to make this introduction about this program in this way, and I'll tell you why it is so important to me. Thursday, day before yesterday, a week ago Thursday, Kansas City Chiefs played their first game. I work with a group of young people who are between the ages of 12 and 23. Most of these young people were 18 and 19 years old. 9 of them in a circle, and we were doing group. And I said, the Kansas City Chiefs are playing tonight, and my understanding is they are going to do the Black National Anthem. That's what I said. 9 out of 9. Did I tell you that they were 18 and 19 years old?
Yes.
9 out of 9 did not know what the Black National Anthem was. Now, when I thought about what upset me, it was more that they had not been taught than it was that they did not know. And the reason that is important to me is because if that demonstration is taking place in the NFL, if there are professional basketball players who are making their statements, if there are leaders in the community who continue to insist that systemic racism must be addressed, the least that needs to be done is our young people understand what systemic racism is, that our young people understand who we are as a people. And the three of us on this panel are old enough to remember something that sounded like you must learn your history or you are destined to repeat it. We've heard this. Now, perhaps it needed to say you must teach your history or we are destined to repeat it, because these young people will understand the topic that you gentlemen are presenting as it relates to community police relations, but do they understand the historical roots that caused us to want to talk about it in 2020? And if they cannot go back beyond 2019 and understand what our history is and what we have been subjected to systemically, then it's going to be very difficult for them to identify with the movement other than just the trappings of, in some cases, making noise rather than making plans. Yeah. Now, why is it that I would consider myself to be somewhat upset? DeQuay today represents a very salient reason that I am concerned. We have two legitimate Vietnam veteran heroes in our midst. This is not hyperbole, and I am not doing this to just flatter you. I'm talking about legitimate history of two black veterans who subjected yourselves to the height of an engagement that was even questioned. And we have young people who do not understand the implications of your service, but it didn't stop there. You had to keep fighting when you got home. So I am saying, as I introduce this topic, that it sounds rather simple. We're going to have an opportunity to interact with community and police officers. No, it's a lot more important and a lot more significant than just that. So what I would like to do is, in as much as Gerald Caldwell has served as a board member, as it were, of our Stoots for Boots program, I would like for you to talk a little bit about your experiences and do it this way. You were telling me something about who's in our midst today in Brother Bonner. Yes. And then, Brother Bonner, I would ask you in a similar way to introduce Gerald Caldwell. But Gerald Caldwell, please get us started.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. We have in our midst today our current VFW Post 8100 commander.
Yes, sir.
And he is a Purple Heart recipient in his own right. And if anybody earned a Purple Heart, I think he earned one of them because of what he had to go through.
Yes, sir.
Now he's been working with our post here. I think this is his second year working with our post as commander. Mm-hmm. And he does a very good job. And it's kind of stepped up into the front. This pandemic has kept us from doing things that we normally do. And we're having a time with that, but we're going to work around that as much as we can. And we have to help try to keep our funds and things up too. And we're going to work around that. The VFW has made a way for us to get a grant so that we'll be able to proceed on until this pandemic is over. Now, Mr. Bonner here and our former quartermaster, Leroy Tyler, who just passed, both of them worked real close together. I'm not even sure if they was in Vietnam together, but they both went through some very tough times. And if I'd like to turn this over to Mr. Bonner and let him give you some of the experiences and things that he went through.
Thank you.
And this deal with the Grandview policeman, he's the one that coordinated this, started this. He started this with Sergeant Smith out there, who is the coordinator out there for the Grandview Police Department.
All right.
Yeah, for the activities part. He handles all of that, and then Mr. Bonner has been pretty close with him. So we thank him for doing that and working with him on that. So we turn this over to Mr. Bonner and then let him tell you a little bit about his experiences.
Please.
He had some good experience.
Commander Bonner.
How are you today, Mr. Boyd?
I am honored today and appreciative of your being here.
Thank you.
And please get close to that microphone or pull it close to you.
Is that better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd like to give you some of my experiences, which I can't say were great. Vietnam was a war that we fought that we really didn't have to, but we did.
Yes, sir.
And if anything came up again, I'd gladly return. But my topic today was how to get Black Americans to feel like they're not on America's #1 wanted list. Because when I came home from Vietnam, the United States just didn't recognize me. They made me feel like an outsider, like I had done something wrong. And I didn't feel like I had done something wrong because I wanted to help my country stay great. But that wasn't the feeling they gave me when I came home. They ignored me. They didn't accept the fact that I had almost given my life to what this country is supposed to represent. And that's freedom. Freedom of speech, education, welfare. But it didn't change me. It's not stopping me from being the same man that I went out and fought as an American. And so I've set up a program through the Grandview Police Department on the 26th of this month, which is next Saturday, at VFW Post 8100, 3413 Main Street in Grandview, for an experience that the public could get to meet the police. Because not all policemen are bad. There are some, but not all Americans are bad. There are some. But this gives all of Grandview, at least Grandview, a chance to meet and greet with the police department. And I'm honored to be hosting this on the benefits for the police because I'm off the most wanted list. At least I feel like I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming off. And with that, I'm dedicated to doing what I'm doing. I love the VFW Post, and I would probably serve here until I pass.
My God.
And if there are any other questions that you'd like to ask me, feel free. I think I can answer them.
Very quickly, I would like to ask Brother Caldwell to give an account as briefly or as lengthy as it might be of some of the exploits of Commander Bonner as his duty commanded when he was in Vietnam.
Well,
And you were talking about among the encounters that he had to experience
right.
during that time. I don't know that he would say it necessarily, but his duty was not easy.
Right. But his duty was very, very hard duty. I was a CB, and of course,
Please say what a CB.
Navy Construction Battalion.
All right.
So we was tasked with building
Yes, sir.
airfields and roads.
My God.
And water purification.
Come on.
Just everything there we had to do, and we would asphalt some of them roads over there so the Viet Cong couldn't plant mines under them.
Yes.
If they were dirt, they could plant a mine under. But we laid that asphalt down. They couldn't dig through that at that time. They can do it now, but
Right.
they couldn't do it at that time.
Right.
But guys like Larry Bonner, Leroy Tyler, Leroy Tyler come face to face with a tiger, and the tiger was the scent of the tiger. Of his scent was blowing back the other way.
Yes.
That's the only reason the tiger didn't stop. He walked on past him.
My God.
But if the scent had been going the other way, the tiger
Yes,
would have
sir.
had a fight. Because I don't think his weapon would have got that
Exactly.
tiger.
Exactly.
They got some pretty tough skin.
Yes, sir.
And also, Brother Larry Bonner here, with he was known as the tunnel rat, which is a tough job, underground. I get claustrophobia when I go underground. But Larry worked underground there for the Army in Vietnam, and he had a lot of experiences there, hardened experiences that almost took him out of here. And we like for Larry to kind of explain to some of those experiences you went to over there in Vietnam.
Please.
As a tunnel rat in Vietnam, I encountered quite a few places that you wouldn't want to go. Down in the ground, 20, 30 feet underground, in a tunnel that was just big enough for you to put your hands on the ground and your shoulders just the ceiling, and you crawl into another area that may be as large as your living room, where you find weapons, ammunition, hospitals. And I don't really enjoy talking about the things that I had to go through over in Vietnam, because it really brings back bad memories, and my COPD sometimes kicks in.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir. Well,
I'm afraid I can't bring it up without excuse me, Mr. Boyd.
Pass over it.
Please do.
Actually, had an experience in Dayton, Ohio. My uncle passed away, and my cousin lived in Kansas City, Kansas. So her pastor accompanied her to Dayton, Ohio for my uncle's services. And we were at the dinner table, and her pastor recounted his experiences indeed from Vietnam.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to me, but not having served, and I need to say this at the beginning of every show, I'm a civilian, and I am honored to have this opportunity. But I said to her pastor, after this interesting conversation, I would love to ask you to come on our radio program. And the gentleman simply said, and very simply, Brother Boyd, I can't do it. It is understandable. These are not memories that people just like to recall. This is reality. This is real. I'm sitting with a gentleman who said that he could see towards being off of the most wanted list. Our singing group did USO shows. We were in Vietnam in 1971. And we visited a lot of places. The black commanders would not allow us to sing in Quang Tri. They wanted us to go to a place that was too dangerous. We didn't know. And some white commanding officers invited us to go sing in Quang Tri, and Quang Tri was getting hit 3 times a day. And the black officers were angry. They were upset. But when I think about what we encountered for 2.5 weeks, you got 13-month TDY, where you are facing this on an ongoing basis and didn't have escort officers like we had. But among the places we wanted to see was Long Binh. In Long Binh, LBJ was the Long Binh jail. They would not allow us to visit LBJ, but we didn't find out until later that it was because there were so many black recruits who were in that jail that they did not want civilians to see. So here we are in the world, so to speak, having no idea what you are going through there, protesting against the war. But media thought we were protesting against the warriors. No. So here you are, heroes. And gentlemen, please give me your departure, the year that you came out of the service.
Okay. I came out in 1969.
69, and you?
I came out in 1968.
Now, can you imagine we're in 2020
Hmm.
and still talking about getting off the most wanted list.
Yes, sir. And it's a shame that most of our young people still feel like they're on America's most wanted list because of their race.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's really a shame. I hate that America has come to this, but I guess it's not that it has come to this. It's always been this, and it's time for a change.
Thank you very, very much. And I'll tell you, and by the way, I'm sorry, DeQuay, you might have something that you wanted to say and or ask. So please jump right on in. I was talking at the beginning of the program about being upset about what our young people did not know. But if I had a title for today's program, it would be They Cannot Reach What We Did Not Teach.
Mm-hmm.
This is up to us. So, what you are doing right now is important not just for adults, but young people need to come to this. And DeQuay, if you would read that announcement over again for us, we'll get into that. And before we do, I'm going to ask Brother Caldwell to tell us about that CB responsibility if you have not exhausted it. But once again, the announcement is
Coffee with a Cop. Coffee with a Cop is taking place on Saturday, September 26th from 8 to 11 at the VFW Post 8100. Did you say 3114 Main Street? 3413 Main Street. Also, one other really quick announcement. Jazzy Sunday End of Summer Family Activity is going to take place on tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. at Green Space on 57th and Booth. There will be a tip jar located at the entrance. Grab a chair, something cool to drink, wear a mask, be prepared to socially distance, and come enjoy yourself listening to some jazz. But don't forget, Saturday, September 26th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., Coffee with a Cop at the VFW Post 8100.
now 3413 Main is west of 71, about 2 miles or
maybe 3 miles.
Maybe 3 miles west of 71. Yes, indeed. And when you get off on Main, turn right and go about 3 miles and look to your left for the BFW Post.
That's right.
Now, as it relates to what you initiated, how would you, gentlemen, position not just the need for, but how the morning is going to go when I come in and get my cup of coffee? Is it going to be a panel discussion, a town hall meeting? What would be the setting?
This is not a town hall meeting. This is a relax. Speak to a cop.
Okay.
Have a cop speak to you. They, like I said, they are human. Some are not as friendly as other ones, but they probably want to be at our Coffee with a Cop presentation. This is a chance for the public and the police department to mingle, to be carefree, no hesitations, no animosities. You're just there to meet the police department, and the police department is there to say hello to you on a one-on-one basis. If you like, you can talk to any policeman that's there. You can express your anger or your disagreements. They may not get answered at that time, but at least they'll know that we have issues. And there are issues also in Grandview, but you may not get the answers at this meeting, but they will be out there.
Now, 3413 Main 64030, that is Grandview.
Yes.
Will all of the officers present be Grandview citizens?
Most of the citizens there will be Grandview citizens. The police department will definitely be the Grandview Police Department. And I welcome anyone from Kansas City, Independence, Blue Springs, Belton, all are welcome. Like I said, coffee is free. There should be enough donuts for everyone. But breakfast is on a regular sale basis. VFW does offer breakfast on the second and fourth Saturdays of every month. And we're going to use this as an opportunity to uplift our post also. But like I said, this isn't just for our post, it's for everyone. This gives everyone a chance to say, hi, I'm human. I see you are. So come on out. Enjoy yourself. Give me a call.
Now, when we ask that there are people who join with whatever questions they might have, let us also let them know between now and Saturday, if they have questions, how they can contact you.
I can be reached by our VFW Post phone number, which is area code 816-765-8100. And if I don't answer the phone immediately, there's a voice that will connect you to my home phone, or should I say my cell phone.
Oh.
And you can ask me any questions that you might have at that time.
One more time, contact information.
Contact information is VFW Post 8100. Phone number, area code 816-765-8100. Call me.
Now, one of the things that we can boast of who are involved with Stoots for Boots is a relationship with BFW 8100.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, did not bring it today, but I shall make sure that you have a copy of a poster, Dear Law Enforcers poster, that was largely made possible by our relationship with VFW 8100.
Yes, yes, it was. Yes,
And in that poster, there is an explanation of the plight of good officers and what they confront,
Right.
and suggesting we understand.
Right.
But on this occasion, September 26th, 8 until 11, you are not asking people to be nice. You're not asking them to be mean. You're not asking them to have a political orientation. You're saying come and have a cup of coffee.
Thank you. That's it. Come and have a cup of coffee with us and Grandview Police Department.
If you had to cite a desired or target age range, how young can those who are visiting with the police officers be? What would you suggest?
I suggest anyone from the age of 16 to 55.
That's good. That's real
That-
good.
That's
Or maybe even younger.
from the age of 16 to 65. Those are the ones that are gonna have more
More questions. With the kids,
Yeah,
kids
but
will
the
have
kids
some
are
questions.
the kids are anyone under 16 is not gonna have any. What I want to say, I can't think of the word right now, but they're not going to have any questions to ask the police that are prevalent
Substantive and
But
necessary.
I don't think so, but I may be wrong because
I would say less
youngsters-
likely. I'm sorry, I would say less likely.
Right.
Mhm.
Because our youth do have interactions sometimes with with law enforcement, but not only do they have their own interactions with law enforcement, they see the interactions that others have with law enforcement. And our youth have some really good questions. They have some really good thoughts, and they sometimes are better able to articulate what they're thinking than some of us adults are.
Oh, I agree.
But I wanted to comment really quick on the Black National Anthem. You know, there are a lot of adults that do not know the song. So
Right.
we cannot get,
Right.
how do you teach what you don't know?
That's why I said
Yeah.
that our children can't reach what we do not teach. That's exactly why I said that. So when I said I was upset, I wasn't upset with the young people.
Right.
That's right.
I'm upset with us. I'm
But
upset
even
with
some
those
of
who
the other
didn't.
adults that don't know,
That's
they
exactly
can't
right.
teach it either if they don't know it.
That's right. And it
surely
is
wasn't taught
amazing to
us.
me that my being 78 years old, assuming that it was passed down. How can I assume that it's passed down if I don't pass it?
They don't pass it. That's right. That's right.
But what I wanted to mention as it relates to those young people is I do serve on the board of Crime Stoppers. And Crime Stoppers Kansas City does have a junior Crime Stoppers.
Mm-hmm.
And these are those youngsters who are below the age of 16, as a matter of fact, as young as 5th grade. And they might have some curiosity, but we would advise that under that age, as a matter of fact, generally we advise under the age of 18, be accompanied by an adult. Now, let me also ask what protocols they should observe in as much as we're in the pandemic.
They must wear a mask and try your best to stay 6 feet social distancing at this event. We are not trying to spread the virus, and this is definitely a pandemic. Take it for real.
Thank you so very much. You are hearing the voice of Commander Larry Bonner, VFW Post 8100 in Grandview, Missouri, along with Gerald Caldwell, former commander, VFW 8100, Grandview, Missouri, inviting all who are listening, inviting all citizens to come and have coffee with a cop. Didn't hear you say we want all black people to have coffee with a cop.
We want all people.
All people, all citizens. Not only that, as it relates to something that might be referred to as confrontation, I'm hearing you say we want guests to understand that they can be as direct and ask the hard questions if they want to, but we're not asking for a civil disobedience kind of climate.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
I'm sorry, I thought you were getting ready to say something there, because I am so intrigued by the relevance of Vietnam veterans and what you're doing in the times that we're living. Does the Post, fellow VFW posts, good friends with Sidney Malone, now Reverend Linden with the American Legion 149, and others. We've had this discussion over and over again. DeQuay, you will remember that there are those who have said, when you think of BFW, you think of white guys in their 60s and 70s with cigars and
alcohol.
And alcohol. But in terms of efforts to recruit or invite those who are younger, those who are part of what's going on today, how well are you doing, and how might we help?
Well, the young people, we're constantly trying to figure out how to get them in. And the younger people still have to make a living, so they don't have time to donate to volunteers.
That's a good point.
And we're trying to, VFW say, if you come and sign up, and then part of your money we'll give you back on the end of your when you sign up. And that's a good program too, you know.
Wow.
And also I wanted to mention the sign that you made over there, De La Salle, with the policeman there. Very good. We hope to have that sign on display.
Oh, okay, okay.
Next Saturday,
and if
it's a very good sign.
Well, thank you. If you need me to get that for you.
Yes, but we hope to have that done, because it is really what this is all about, you know. And as far as police officers are concerned, they see that there's some very good thoughts in there that people think about them.
Okay.
And I'd like to, that would come from your organization there over at the print shop over there on Paseo, De La Salle. Was that De La Salle?
That was De La Salle. Their print shop is no longer.
No longer there, but you did a job there for a while there, and the VFW help you out with some publicity. We gave you
Absolutely.
some funds, so
Exactly.
and then the VFW got the publicity. And
Yes.
we hope to be working with you on another youth group.
You know what?
Sometime.
Thank you very much for saying that, because what a lot of people did not realize is when VFW made that contribution to the De La Salle print shop, that was not the only printing that they did.
Yeah.
They printed several posters. They were able to help that program and those young people.
Right.
So the young people were very much involved in that, and I'm sure continue to appreciate. I was really disappointed when they stopped the print
Yes.
program at De La Salle. I thought that was one of the staples of
Really?
that institution, and the gentleman who helped us was Pat Lance. That was
Pat
his name,
Lance,
and I
that's right.
think that he might still be in printing, but not at De La Salle. DeQuay, unless you have a question and or a comment, I want to do I'm sorry, say it again. Absolutely. We need to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I have a particular personal thank you I want to offer you, gentlemen, and you'll find out why when we come back from these announcements.
Wave Your Grades will continue after a brief word from our sponsor. Wave Your Grades is brought to you by the Norman Group. For more information on learning to become a partner or learning to bridge the 5 wealth gaps, please contact Willie Norman. You can reach him by phone at 816-525-8708. Again, that's 816-525-8708. Or you may contact him by email at wnorman2@att.net. Again, wnorman2@att.net, or 816-525-8708. And we are back with Wave Your Grades. Here is our here is our host.
That's all right. I am co-announcer of Wave
Carl
Your Grades.
Boyd.
Thank you very much, DeQuay Wilson. We are back with Commander Larry Bonner, VFW, Post 8100, Grandview, Missouri, former commander and board member for Stoots for Boots, Gerald Caldwell, and gentlemen, along with several other. Oh, by the way, there is an organization, is there not, of Vietnam veterans?
Yes, it is.
And please tell us about that and how veterans can become involved.
That organization is kind of an offspring of the VFW per se. They kind of hang loose, and they are mostly younger guys. They kind of want to kind of do their own thing. They are the ones that have that helicopter that we have on display at 8100 once a year. We have a big. What's the name of that helicopter, Larry?
I don't remember the name of the helicopter at this time.
Yeah, it's the one that they used in Vietnam, and they dropped those soldiers down in the field down there.
Yes, sir.
We have one of those that they bring on display there every year, and we have lots of people come in and see and visit it and go inside that helicopter. They get it fixed so they can go inside of it. So it's really nice. And also with the police department, we give certificates to the police and fire department of Grandview every year for the best fireman or the best policeman. They give us the name, and we print a certificate. Last year, we had the first lady ever. Our post was created in 1946. We gave the first lady a certificate for Policeman of the Year ever.
Wow. That's interesting.
The first for a lady. All the rest of them been guys. And
yes, sir.
That should let you know then how times are changing.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
No two ways about it. Now, do we still have Mayor Jones?
Yes.
A former Marine, not a former Marine. Did you hear me say that? A Marine veteran. Will he be present, or do you know?
He should be there.
I would imagine.
Josia was his classmate, and she normally pulls his coattail, and he normally comes.
We have Our Lady Auxiliary, Josia Tyler, who's president of the auxiliary, and her and Leonard Jones, Mayor Leonard Jones,
exactly,
are very good and close, and so she's usually like Jerry said pulls his coattails, so he'll be there.
Well, I had the pleasure of meeting the chief because do you guys know Terry Williams? He was with Quick Trip. Terry Williams, but he moved out of the area. But as a member of Crime Stoppers USA, he was a liaison with the Grandview Police Department. Okay. So that's how I met the chief. Okay. And while we're on it, I think I mentioned earlier that I was going to ask the question how those of us who are civilians can support the VFW.
We usually say if you would attend our breakfast, bingo.
That's right.
And some of our social events, that will be supporting the VFW. We are not asking for donations, but we will accept donations. Right at this moment, the pandemic has put us in a position where we are asking for donations because our fundraisers have been cut off.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
We can't get out into the public like we used to. So anything that you are willing to do, your time or monies, we will more than happily accept.
Well, some of the senior citizen, and you know, with our post there, we have a lot of people, the ladies that come and play bingo, their husbands were in service, and they still support that VFW post. But due to their age, and some of them are not coming out because of this pandemic.
Exactly.
They're playing it safe, which is no fault of theirs.
Absolutely.
You know, you do what you can, what your mind tell you to do on that one. So we don't fault them on that. But we still have to live with the consequences of the utilities and things going on there.
On Wave Your Grades, coming to you through KUAW.org and the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, you are hearing the voices of Larry Bonner, Commander, VFW, Post 8100, Grandview, Missouri, and Gerald Caldwell, former Commander, active member of VFW, Grandview, 8100. And gentlemen, I had mentioned to, I'm sorry, were you going to say something else? I mentioned to you that I wanted to say a very personal thank you to Vietnam veterans.
Thank you.
We were privileged as a singing group from the South Side of Chicago, and it was interesting, DeQuay, that I guess I can say the gentleman we met, I was trying to think of females we met, and we really met primarily males in Vietnam in 1971. And the gentleman we met took particular care at protecting us. Now, they allowed us, from the Bob Hope show to everybody who performed for USO shows, traveled with a GS-14 rank. So we were traveling Vietnam as bird colonels.
That's right.
And staying at the bachelor officers' quarters. And we were, you know, in the commander's jet plane flying around when these gentlemen had to do, quote, the dirty work, unquote. And made very, very sure that every civilian, we just had a small group, from Bob Hope's group to our small group, were just so well protected and so respected. I didn't even know to thank them as much as I know now, and learning from somebody who was there. So,
but we would like to thank you because we only, the CBs, we only had one afternoon off, and that's Sunday afternoon.
Yes, sir.
And that's the only time we could get a USO show if they had one coming through there. And I tell you, that was a blessed time to sit there and listen to some really good music coming from stateside. You couldn't beat that Sunday afternoon. And it really gave us a new hope and more encouragement. It helped us through those tough times over there.
Well, I really will say that I think we were probably having more fun than you, because we were meeting some people who were really on top of things. Now, being veterans, and continuing to have the opportunity to be as active as you gentlemen are. And as I say often, I'm 78, I'll be 79 on my next birthday.
When will that be?
March 3rd.
March 3rd. Okay.
March 3rd, 2021 will be my 79th birthday. I do look forward to it. I made a promise to my wife when I became 70.
Uh-huh.
So that's 8 years ago. And I told you've heard me say this before. I promised my wife when I became 70 that I will not work more than 44 more years. I don't care what anybody. So I'm still working on it, and blessed to be able.
yeah, you're doing a really good job, and
Mother Nature's really been kind to you.
Well, you know what, and that's it. I am
Yes.
blessed because I'm not particularly disciplined or anything. I'm just
Right.
blessed that that God has been so good to me.
yes,
Yes,
So
and you got an excellent memory.
definitely.
Excellent memory. He did a rap over there at for sale for the veterans, and I didn't know he was on that program. And he did that rap, had his own
Boom
radio
box.
boombox there with his own music. And he did that rap, didn't forget a word, went all the way through there. It was 500 students in there. Somebody in the back taped them on the cell phone
Lord.
and put that on Facebook and say, must watch. You must watch this. And it was really, really exciting. And the rap that he wrote, it's his rap.
Geriatric rap, I
Yeah.
think they got. Now, what were we talking about? What good memory?
That's really nice.
But this is indeed. So let me not stray too far, because there was a reason that you were here. DeQuay, if you would make that announcement again, let's make sure that before we end the program, we hone in on what we want people to do next Saturday.
Absolutely. Coffee with a Cop at the Grandview VFW Post 8100, 3413 Main Street, Grandview, Missouri, 64030. Is that correct?
Yes,
Mm.
64030.
That's going to be next Saturday, September 26th, 8 to 11 a.m. The public is welcome. Asking everyone to come out, socialize with, get to know the Grandview Police Department. Breakfast will be available for sale.
All right. And by the way, you mentioned bingo. Are you still doing that?
No, we have
Okay.
taken a break on bingo because the attendance, like Jerry
Which
once
is
said, that
understandable.
most of our bingo players are elderly.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this COVID has them scared to come out. So we've temporarily postponed bingo
Hmm.
until the epidemic has taken a smaller scale. And then we're going to resume bingo playing. But at this time, we're not playing bingo.
Okay. So it's very important for those who might have been reluctant to come out for that to understand that this is a very safe environment.
Very safe.
And I have been in those headquarters, and the tables are arranged such that you can be 6 feet apart and still be quite comfortable.
Right. And everyone definitely has to wear a mask,
Yes,
except when eating or drinking.
yeah, absolutely.
And once you've finished your drink or your meal, put your mask back on, and that way everyone feels safe. Now, how safe we all are, I have no way of knowing,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
we're following protocol.
Absolutely.
Tables
Definitely
and chairs are
following
sanitized.
protocol. Yes, and we sanitize before and after every social event that we have at VFW Post. So there are no germs there when you get there.
All
so,
right, praise
and
God.
we make sure we take them out with you when you leave.
All right. One of the things that I was talking about the young people when I was saying I was upset that they didn't know some things that they hadn't been taught. But one of the things that we do every time we go into the center is take our temperature. We make sure that everybody's temperature is taken, and if someone should have a high temperature, DeQuay, then they have to attend to what is protocol for that. You know a little bit about that, and that is going to be quite an event for this particular reason. Unfortunately, in today's world, we have set up such divisiveness in the United States of America that everything is positioned for a confrontation.
Right.
Too many things are positioned for me to prove to you why I'm right and why you're wrong. So we don't have the kinds of conversations that say, what do we agree upon and where can we go from there? This is not a confrontational setup. That's
Right.
not what this is
Not
about.
what it's about.
Gentlemen, when I think about what you've gone through and look at the atmosphere we're experiencing today, please explain why, if it is true that you are optimistic about our near and distant future.
I'm going to take this as to say I'm kind of optimistic because it doesn't seem like it's getting done fast enough.
Okay.
We're moving toward
Okay.
it, or is it being held undercover like it's usually been?
Ooh.
Yes, it's been undercover
Mm-hmm.
from the time that I was born until yesterday. It's undercover.
Okay.
They smile in my face. They talk about me when I'm gone. And this is something that I wish with all my heart
Mm-hmm.
would change.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
human. I have
Absolutely.
feelings. I don't do anybody wrong. And I just can't understand why. If someone could explain to me why they don't like me, maybe I could change.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm going to stay me. And I mean, that's just the law of the animal that I am.
Wow. Brother
Well,
Caldwell?
I think that as we go along here, I think with this coffee with the cop, it's come about because of that George Floyd deal.
Yeah.
That's when it come
Mhm.
up,
Mhm.
and our commander and the Sergeant Smith, the police coordinator, they got together and they say, well, maybe we could come together and have a dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we could cut off some of this anger and some of these questions. We can ask them in a calm nature,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a better understanding of what's going on, which is a good thing, I think. Very good thing. And you know, we've our veterans when they come back from World War II, they had the GI Bill. They could buy houses in the state of Mississippi. In the state of Mississippi, only 2 black veterans were allowed to buy houses. All the
In the state.
in the state,
State.
all the white ones that put in for it got them. These houses are worth $300,000 and $400,000 now. Our veterans didn't get a chance to participate in that, so our upward mobility was cut off, and that stopped. We wonder why we can't catch up with. Well, that's one of the reasons we can't catch up.
Mm-hmm.
The local people was the one controlled that, and they stopped us from that. This come on the public radio station, so I know I'm right.
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we have had the privilege of a relationship with Rebecca Bradley.
Okay.
Now, Rebecca, at one point, was the Minority Affairs Coordinator for the state of Missouri's Veterans Affairs. She no longer has that office, but she is with the National Association of Black Veterans.
Okay.
And oftentimes, there are those who not only have suffered from not enjoying the benefits of their service,
Of that service.
but also have suffered ignorance, not knowing.
Not knowing.
That we have.
That's the key. Not knowing.
Yes.
Yeah, just like you say that black anthem, not knowing what it is.
Absolutely. And before we get away coming towards the end of the program, I do indeed want to see, DeQuay, if there is something as it relates to from George Floyd to wherever we're going, and what these gentlemen are putting forth, bringing us together. Any comments and or questions on that?
No, I just hope that your event is successful.
Yes, yes.
I hope that the community and the police department are able to uh, not just express concerns with one another, but also get to know each other, because you tend to care for people more when you know them. You
That's
tend to
right.
respect them a little more when you know them. So hopefully I can build some relationships for that community.
Very good, very
Is
good.
my hope. But because we are getting close to the end of the hour, I do want to remind our listeners one more time about Coffee with a Cop. Saturday, September 26th from 8 to 11 at the VFW Post 8100. And then tomorrow, Jazzy Sunday, end of summer family activity at Green Space at 57th and Booth. There will be local guitarists. Mr. Charlie Dixon will be there. Bring you a comfortable chair, something cool to drink, wear your mask, be prepared to socially distance, and bring a tip for the jar at the door. And again, that's from 6 to 8 tomorrow. So
Would that be inside?
that is it. I believe that's an outdoor space.
Okay, outdoor space.
It is. Yes, that will be outdoors.
So before we close, I'd like to turn the mic back over to you guys for any last words.
All right. Thank you so very, very much. And getting to the close, final comments, please. Larry Bonner, Commander, VFW Post 8100, Grandview, Missouri.
I want to thank you, Mr. Boyd, for the opportunity to come on your show and
Thank
not
you.
only get the word out about coffee with a cop, but to express some of my feelings
Yes, sir.
that I have probably held back a little bit too long. And once again, I thank you very much, sir.
It is to our benefit, and just the courage and the candor help us so much. So we are blessed to have you with us. And Brother Gerald Caldwell, please.
Yes. We'd just like to thank you, Mr. Boyd, for allowing us to come on and express ourselves as Vietnam veterans. And we'd like to thank, he's not here, but Reverend Emmanuel Cleaver, who had the big program out there at the Truman Library, which gave the veterans gave us a coin
Praise
out there
God.
and let us know that the Vietnam veterans, they brought them out of the woods. He said, you're
Thank you.
recognized now. And Cleaver did a big deal out there. We'd like to thank him. And I don't get a chance to thank him in person for that, but and I'm sure Mr. Boyd will see him sometime down the line.
Yes, sir.
As famous as he is, he'll see him somewhere down the line. So we thank him for that. And we thank you for being here for years.
All right.
With the Generation Rap and other shows that he's
Thank
had
you
with
very
way back
much.
in the day, and you can
Right.
tell the efficiency he has at the mic. He's
Well, I'm learning as I
very
go.
efficient at that.
Well, thank you so very, very much. We're at now. Can we get the announcement in, or?
We can try it really quick.
I do understand this if you can't. To students across the USA, your Stoots for Boots message for this day, September 19th. Success in service is our troops' actuation. Success in school is our students' obligation. September 19th. Success in service is our troops' actuation. Success in school is our students' obligation. To students across the USA, your Stoots for Boots message for this day, September 20th.
Hey everybody, this is Scatter. You might remember me from way back in the Zodiac days. Be sure and check us out. We're going to be here every day from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock as old